On this particular day, I was feeling lazy and did not feel like cooking. For breakfast, I wanted something comforting like a bowl of eggs, bacon, and tater tots, but didn't want to have potatoes because I'm low carb. So instead of tots, I used these veggie tots made with America's favorite potato replacement, cauliflower. I actually wish a company would make these with something like turnip, jicama, or rutabaga because those are way better potato replacements than cauliflower is. But beggars can't be choosers. One of my lazy day cooking hacks is to use this brand of microwavable bacon. It's actually not pre-cooked like some microwave bacon is. See, it's real raw bacon in there. But it takes less than 3 minutes to cook perfect bacon. That's why I like it. I'm also using egg whites so I don't have to bother cracking eggs. Plus, this is higher in protein compared to using a whole egg equivalent. And I'm using some pre-shredded cheese. So only 4 ingredients for breakfast. Here's an idea of how lazy I was this particular morning. I still hadn't cleaned out this skillet from yesterday and I didn't feel like washing it, so I just quickly wiped it with a paper towel and called it good. Since these tots are a little higher in carbs than I'd like, there's 13 net carbs for 6 tots. I only used 3 of them. Insane, I know. But I cut them up into smaller pieces to make them seem like there was more. I let those cook over medium heat with a little bit of oil until they're cooked through. What's kind of sad is that later on I compared how many carbs are in these cauliflower tater tots compared to the real tater tots, and there's only 5 more carbs in the same weight-based serving for the potato tater tots. I should have just used the real thing, but you know, just went with the lower carb, healthier option. I don't really think it's any healthier though. For the egg whites, I'm measuring out 3/4 of a cup, which will give me 20 grams of protein. Added that to the skillet and then sprinkled in some salt and then scrambled that all up. While the eggs cooked, I cut up the cooked bacon into smaller size pieces. 4 slices of this microwavable bacon added an additional 8 grams of protein. Once the egg is scrambled, I stirred in some cheese, about 1/4 of a cup, and that's my lazy morning breakfast. I decided to chop up some parsley for some flavor and to make it look pretty for you guys. I sat down to enjoy it with my coffee and my cellular phone while I moved around my schedule to make way for some more easier, no-brainer tasks that I can do, so that I could at least feel good about myself with getting some stuff done rather than slothing the whole day on the couch. And with getting 35 grams of protein in this meal while keeping the carbs only at 8.5 grams, I was feeling pretty accomplished already. By lunch, I was still feeling a little lazy, and I really wanted to try this recipe for lemongrass chicken that I saw on Instagram. I love lemongrass flavor, and I had already bought all these ingredients, plus my chicken was borderline getting past its prime, so I needed to make this. Luckily, it was a very easy recipe, and it came together in like 15 minutes. I started with a quick marinade for the chicken. I have 6 ounces of chicken in here. This is just gonna make 1 serving. I'm adding about 3 teaspoons of lemongrass paste because it's just so much easier than messing with real lemongrass. I don't even know how to do that. A teaspoon of soy sauce, a 1/2 teaspoon of fish sauce, a 1/2 teaspoon of rice vinegar, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and 1/4 teaspoon of sugar-free sweetener. Mix that all together to coat the chicken. The original recipe said to marinate it for about an hour, but I didn't want to wait that long, so I pretty much air fried it right away. I like using the air fryer because I don't have to bother with cleaning a skillet. You just put the air fryer tray straight into the dishwasher when you're done. This gets air fried at 375 degrees for around 10 to 12 minutes or until the chicken's cooked through. Meanwhile, I'm making up the sauce that is going to go with this. Start with 1/4 cup of water, a 1/2 tablespoon of fish sauce, a tablespoon of soy sauce. You could also use liquid aminos or coconut aminos here. A 1/2 teaspoon of sugar-free sweetener, and 1/2 teaspoon of arrowroot powder. This is going to serve as our thickener to help thicken up that sauce when we cook it with the noodles. Then a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 tablespoon of lemon juice, a 1/2 tablespoon of rice vinegar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red chili flakes. Stir that up, and then I moved on to working on the veg that will go into this. I used cucumber and green onion. I'm also going to add a little bit of carrot later on too, just for some color. After I cut those up into pieces, my chicken was ready and it smelled really good at this point. And cooking it in the air fryer made it so juicy. You can see how juicy that is once I cut through it. For the noodles, instead of rice noodles, I'm using this angel hair pasta by Miracle Noodle. This is a shirataki noodle. It's 1 net carb per serving or 2 carbs for this entire bag. And they're pretty easy to prepare. You just drain off the liquid that comes in them, and then add the noodles to a dry skillet and cook off the moisture. Then I added in my chicken, poured in the sauce, stirred in a little bit of carrot like I said I was going to use, and once that sauce was thickened enough to coat the noodles, I poured it into my dish and topped it with the cucumber, the green onion, and just a little bit more red pepper flake just for some looks. You know, I'm trying to impress you guys. I decided to get some vitamin D while I went out and enjoyed my lunch. Nothing quite recharges me like fresh air and being out in the sun. And of course, I had to crack open one of my favorite beverages, Element Sparkling. If you love sparkling water, you will love these. It's like if sparkling water had a baby with a packet of electrolytes. Right now, they come in some of my favorite Element flavors like grapefruit, citrus, watermelon, but they also have a new flavor that I have been loving, which is black cherry lime. I already love Element drink mixes. They are a great solution to tackling symptoms of low electrolytes like headache and fatigue. They're also convenient to take on the go since they come in single serve packets. Right now, Element is offering my viewers a free sample pack of their drink mixes with any drink mix purchase. It's a great way to try out some of their delicious flavors without having to buy all the flavors. But both of these drink mix packets plus the Element Sparkling is going to be my new summer staple drink. They are both so refreshing and hydrating since they both have the same electrolyte formula of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Go on and get that free sample pack with any drink mix purchase when you go to drinkelement.com/ketofocus. Luckily for dinner, my husband came through by cooking a tri-tip in our sous vide, so I didn't have to worry about making dinner. Well, I did end up making a salad to go with the tri-tip, but it was just a bag salad, so easy. I decided I'm already moving on to dessert, ice cream. And to make that, I'm gonna finally use my Ninja Creamy. It's only been sitting in my dog pantry for about a year unused. I had such good intentions last summer to make all these new ice cream recipes for you guys, but it just didn't happen because the laziness really runs deep in my bones. And if you're wondering what a dog pantry is, it's the name I've given to this pantry. Well, my house doesn't technically have a pantry, so I converted the linen closet and the broom closet into pantries. This one's called the dog pantry because it's where we keep the dog food, even though it also houses my photography equipment, large appliances, canned goods. Dog pantry just makes more sense. I had some blueberries to use up because I had 3 opened containers of blueberries in the fridge. How does this happen? I just kept adding them to my grocery order every week, even though no one is really eating them. So I gotta use them up. So here we are. I found a recipe for protein blueberry cheesecake ice cream on mylifecookbook.com. It was so easy to make, and I really don't know why I didn't get on this trend sooner. I just added a 1/2 cup of heavy cream to a blender, and then Denise says to use 3/4 cup of almond milk. I decided to try using flax milk. Because it has a higher protein content, it's 5 grams of protein and only 1 carb per cup. Then a 1/2 cup of blueberries, an ounce of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of sugar-free sweetener, and then a scoop of protein powder. And this one by Isopure is my favorite since it's 0 carbs. Since she used vanilla protein and I only had unflavored protein, I am gonna add in a splash of vanilla extract. After a quick blend until it's all smooth, and after I finally located my Ninja Creamy containers, that took a while, I poured the puree into the container and brought it down to the garage into the freezer to freeze for 24 hours. The next day, which is actually right now, I blended it up in the Ninja Creamy. It did take 2 cycles on the light cycle. That's what she said to do as well. The first one, it turned out powdery, and then you do it again, and then it's perfectly creamy. And I was blown away with how good this was. It was light blueberry flavor with cheesecake flavoring as well. It is delicious and so creamy. It's amazing. I really just want to eat this entire pint right now. I actually might have this for lunch right now. But if you're not that person and you want some more easy, high protein meal ideas, then just click right here. Pest guy is right outside my window and probably looking at me strangely.